Hey guys, welcome back to our channel and this series that we're doing on infertility, or our infertility journey as we've called it. I know it's been a little over 2 months probably.
It's been a while, sorry.
since our last videos, we apologize.
It's been a crazy summer.
Yeah, we have had quite an eventful summer with some road trips and some family get-togethers and last hurrahs before some close family leaves and goes across the country for a few years. So anyway, in the last video,
I talked about my OB.
That's right.
Yeah.
In the last video, Lindsay talked about her OB, the second OB that she got established with, ran a couple tests with, and filled in the gaps there. So this video and the next one will be on integrative medicine and the integrative doctor that we saw. This video specifically will kind of talk about what integrative medicine is and why we chose to go that route. And then the second one will talk about the nuts and bolts, what testing we did with the integrative doctor, what his treatments or suggestions were, and all that. So anyway, without further ado, I'll let Lindsay dive into what integrative medicine is.
So integrative medicine is a combination of Western medicine and Eastern philosophies. So Western medicine, this would be things like diagnostic tools, medication when needed, and diagnostic tools, of course, include blood tests, also would include things like CAT scans, MRIs, etc., as well as Eastern philosophies. So things like yoga, acupuncture, herbs, supplements. Of course, diet and lifestyle changes are a big one.
Massages.
Oh, massages. I haven't got one of those. That's next on my list. Anyways, but it looks at the body as a whole, and kind of looks and sees what can you fix within your body to make your overall health optimal. So one thing that I heard an integrative doctor say, it was probably a podcast or YouTube video or something that I listened to, mentioned something about that Western medicine kind of takes the approach of, here's another car analogy for you. You're driving in your car and your check engine light comes on. And instead of taking your car to O'Reilly's or AutoZone, you decide, I'm just going to put a happy face sticker on it and I'm just not going to worry about that check engine light, which sometimes if you're in a money pickle, you just might feel like we want to do that. But so similarly, Western medicine kind of looks at, oh, you're having a hard time sleeping. Here's some medication for that. Oh, you're having a hard time losing weight. Here's some medication for that. You have anxiety, you have depression, etc., etc. There's a pharmaceutical that is created for just about everything. And not to mention the long list of side effects that go along with those pharmaceuticals. So, and when the pharmaceuticals, sometimes, like I said, sometimes that approach is needed. However, integrative medicine tries to take an approach of like, how can we, why are you having a hard time sleeping? Are you staying up late? Are you watching TikTok videos at night? That would be me, guilty of that one. But kind of, looking at your body as a whole, what are you putting into your body? What does your gut health look like? Because your gut can affect so much. It can affect your sleep and affect your mood. So like I said, just looking at your body as a whole and trying to figure out, what you can alter to give yourself optimal health.
And so what Lindsay just explained there is basically a method of whole body healing, just looking at your body as a whole and adjusting lifestyle things that will promote better health. And so, kind of as we move into this, I want to kind of preface the rest of this conversation with one thing that I think, will be challenged by some people, and that is saying that, if you have a good doctor, any good practitioner should be looking at those things, be looking at your lifestyle, and make sure that you are doing all those things right. And I do agree, a good doctor should, but that really hadn't been our experience to that point. our general practitioner and Lindsay's first two OBs even didn't really dive into family or lifestyle changes at all. There's the general questionnaire that you get when you initiate being a patient, or I guess I should say establish yourself as a patient at any of these practitioners' practices. And the only two things on there are like, do you smoke and do you drink alcohol and how often? And that doesn't really dive into the plethora of other lifestyle things that really do honestly affect your health. I mean, if you don't get a lot of sleep, if you're stressed to the max every day, the list goes on. That does affect your health. It does affect the hormones that your brain releases to your body and your endocrine system, so many other things. And so that's why we went that route, because we knew an integrative doctor would specifically look at those things. And to kind of go back to the questionnaire that I just referenced, the questionnaire that this guy had us.
We were just talking about how we wish we had a copy of it, and I was trying to find one, and it was online that we filled it out, and so we don't have a copy, but
yeah,
it took forever to fill out.
Pages long, pages. I mean, where a general practitioner may have
2 pages, front
2
and back.
pages, yeah, like 20 to 50 questions maybe. This guy had like probably 3 or 4 times that.
I don't know. I don't want to quote how many, because it's been it's been quite a few years.
Yeah.
We just remember it was a lot. We were just like, oh my goodness, this is going to take us a while to fill out.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I want to say is that, that hadn't been our experience. And, you should challenge your doctor, your practitioner, to give you suggestions on, your lifestyle, or even just research it yourself. Really is the best thing to do. It's just kind of, there's some online questionnaires, and maybe we can link to some of those, just about your general health.
So like what Jacob was saying about, like, if you had a good doctor and stuff, they would look into things or question things. And that was just something that I hadn't personally experienced with my general practitioner. He's retired now, but my glucose levels have always been on the high side of the reference range. So they've been 100 to, I guess, slightly less, or 104, I think is the highest that it's been, my fasting glucose. And for me, diabetes running in my family, to me, that screams alarm bells. Yeah, it may not be classified as pre-diabetes, but why would you wait for me to get in the pre-diabetic reference range before you do anything about it? So I always found it odd that none of my doctors ever questioned that. So kind of talking about that, integrative medicine looks for an optimal range. So, Western medicine looks at this wide reference range, and Jacob's really good at explaining the whole reference range thing, so I'll let you.
Well, I mean, just think about how those reference ranges are created, right? You have a million different people with a million different backgrounds, lifestyles, family histories, genetic predispositions. I mean, that's what those reference ranges are based on.
Ages.
Your age, your race, ethnicity, where you live. And so, inside of those reference ranges is this optimal range that you want your health to be in. And that optimum range may be different for each different individual. Knowing your specific, I guess, testing profile, hormone profile, whatever levels you want to kind of look at, depending on what your health goal is. Of course, this whole series is on fertility and infertility, and so I imagine most people watching this video are kind of looking at that specifically.
Or they're just our support system supporting us. Watching
that's true.
Who
We've got
knows?
a good support system, and thank you to everybody who's watching for that, just to kind of keep updates on us. But yeah, there's a certain reference range that you want your body to stay in, hormone wise and otherwise, to give you the best chance of conceiving. And that's kind of what we're honing in on, what we're trying to do. But also, it's just a good idea in general to keep tabs on that for your overall health.
And I will say, I feel like that's another reason we went this route, because it is going to benefit our entire life by finding out if we can pinpoint what is wrong with me. I guess that's kind of how I was looking at it, was if I would have just gone straight to a fertility doctor, we could have done IVF and probably got pregnant immediately. Who knows? I mean, we haven't done IVF yet, so we don't know. But we wanted to see, well, what if there's something that I can fix to get us to that point, or I may find something out about myself that could completely change my lifestyle, like something that I need to fix that is going to prolong my life or give me a better quality of life in the long run. And so I guess I was just looking at it as like, well, if there's some reason why I'm not getting pregnant, I want to know why, because I don't want to, I could go get pregnant and we could have kids, and then I could find out I have something later on that I could have prevented or something like that. So that was another kind of a reason behind why I guess we chose the integrative route, was because of that.
And so, just kind of continuing on with Lindsay's thoughts there, we've always kind of had a preference for a more, I guess, natural approach to our lifestyle and to our health and the products and things that we use. That wasn't so much the case as we were coming out of college and started our marriage and all that, because we just didn't have as many, I'll call them resources. We didn't have as much money and things to be able to splurge on more healthy alternatives. In general, there's that, but there's also, when you're in the store looking at things and they're marketed as a natural product, or they're antibiotic free or nitrate free, or whatever the case may be, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're still healthy for you or that they're good for you,
right?
Even though they may be in the health food section.
Yeah, companies have learned how to market to people because they know people are starting to read labels and they're starting to look at like, okay, what are these things I'm putting in my body? And so they've figured out ways to advertise that to people and make them think that, oh, it says it's all natural, so it must be healthy, or it's gluten-free, so it must be healthy.
Yeah. And, gluten-free to a celiac is important, where if it's, a gluten-free product to somebody else, maybe it's not as a big deal, if you don't have an acute symptom. And that's kind of going back to the Western medicine, Eastern medicine thing, that Western medicine is really good at treating acute symptoms. If you have really bad reaction to something and you need a pill or you need something to survive, that's one thing. Where Eastern medicine, if you're, and that's kind of where we fell. We haven't found anything specific to us that we really need to correct because it's, just a big detriment to our health. We're just trying to improve our overall health and our general health, and really pay attention to the products that we use. And we're not just talking about food here. We're talking about, health and beauty products that you put on your body, soaps, detergents that you use in your laundry, deodorant, things you cook with, your cookware. You're directly ingesting stuff that you cook on. So think about that. Teflon on your pans, aluminum foil if you wrap food in aluminum foil. I will say we haven't purged 100% of that from our lifestyle, but we're still, even to this day, we're still moving in the direction of how can we get more things out of our house that aren't healthy, because it is a process. I mean, like Jacob said, it is expensive. But in the long run, you're either going to pay for it up front or you're going to pay for it in the long term. And so with medical issues.
Right. And so we have been trying to do our due diligence as far as getting things out of our house. I will say we've done a good job. Most of the products in our house, I mean, we do have bleach and things like that. But
well, and really as far as the cost, it's it's really not that bad, especially if you kind of do some research and look for those alternatives and find things like, in the beginning, it took us a long time to grocery shop when we were kind of making this lifestyle change, because we were really looking at each product label, what it's got in it, and all that. But now, after that 6-month period or something of really doing a lot,
it was probably more like a year.
Well, yeah, a year maybe, really kind of looking hard at what we're buying.
Right.
Now we know, we know what brands and what products to go to and to buy, and there may be $1 or $2 upcharge at the cash register for certain items, but some items it's cheaper and more simple, and
really, you can buy in bulk too.
Yeah,
for certain things,
and things that aren't canned and have those preservatives. Like a lot of meals we're just making fresh. We're buying the vegetables and cutting them up. I mean, it's really it's kind of that simple. Really, just buying the raw good and cutting up. Now, when you look at produce, there are some things that get herbicides and pesticides and stuff on them. You want to wash those and make sure that you're, treating those. And you can buy organic. Of course, organic is a little bit more expensive. So, pushing yourself to just do that, just gets you closer to that overall better health and well-being.
So I just wanted to mention, as far as diet and lifestyle, we are not perfect with our diet at all. I will say we are very good with our grocery shopping, things that we eat during the week, the leftovers that we eat, of course. But as far as going to events and going to birthday parties or baby showers or, any kind of wedding or something, we're not going to not enjoy ourselves.
But, and Lindsay was talking about birthday parties and things like that. We go with a mind that, okay, let's just not overdo it with the sugar. We don't need to eat like 4 pieces of cake, But, we do have a little bit of ice cream, have a little bit of cake or whatever. And, I don't think that's overdoing it a lot. A lot of, sometimes we do pay for it the next morning or even that night.
I mean, we do get sick from it because our bodies aren't used to it, because, like I said, majority of the time we are following a pretty strict, healthy diet. We just try not to have the stuff in our house, because I know if we have it in the house, I'm going to eat it. So just wanted to make sure we mentioned that, because, I mean, it is very difficult, especially growing up eating a traditional Western diet. Both of us growing up ate a bunch of junk and things with preservatives and stuff like that. And so, from time to time we, I want to say treat myself, but because it's a treat, but it's not good for me. But
we found healthier snack alternatives here at the house, and like Lindsay was saying, we pretty much just don't buy things that are high sugar content or have those nitrates, sulfates, antibiotics, whatever the case may be, for the most part.
So going back to what Jacob said about health and beauty products, one reason that we started reading labels about that is there are a lot of xenoestrogens in health and beauty products that you put on your skin. So xenoestrogens are endocrine disruptors, and they can affect your hormones. So you've probably seen things like paraben-free and sulfate-free, and there's phthalate-free. There's a long list of things, but VPA is also another one. But they can alter your hormones, and they can elevate your estrogen. And they're also doing research on them causing cancer, but that will probably come out with more research in the next 10 years on that or so. But all that to say, just read your labels. I'm hoping that our channel kind of reaches people more than just fertility people, to kind of just give an awareness of like what is in your food, what are you putting in your body.
Anyway, so it may be kind of silly to say, but you are what you eat. I mean, what you put in your body is, you know, directly affecting your health. And so anyway, to wrap this up, you know, the next video, we're going to, again, dive into Lindsay's testing, what those results were, where that led to, and that next video will kind of wrap up this integrative medicine chapter, and we'll go from there. So hopefully, again, it won't be another month or 2 months or whatever.
I'm going to try to get
video.
them all out so that y'all can follow along in real time with what we're currently, I guess,
and we won't have to sit here and debate on, you know,
when was that? How long ago was that?
Let's go
look at the paperwork. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy your week, and we will catch you on the next video.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome back to our channel and this series that we're doing on infertility, or our infertility journey, as we call it.
I was making sure I was recording.
Are you recording?
I'm recording. How can I fix this? How can I not mess this up again? Let me overthink it. Maybe this is the word. I don't know. Is this the word? We'll see.
That should go on the blooper reel.
I might have to.